Welcome to episode number 44 of the OpTic Podcast. My two guests today is my boy Godfig, and Gade. How do you say it? Gade. I had to cut out on my vlog when I said your name because the DE didn't pull through.
It actually is Gelde, but
Geld.
It's pretty difficult.
Geld. Is that how you say it? How do you say
Gelde.
it? Gelde. That's it. I can speak any language if I'm taught. I can do it. I know. But anyway, welcome. Thank you for one. Welcome to OpTic, and two, thank you for stopping on by the podcast. For the new people that don't know these gentlemen, full name, where you from?
Christian Windike. I'm from Denmark. I lived in Copenhagen, and then I got to Frisco here in Texas, and now I'm with Hex.
Is this your first time in the United States?
No, not my first time, but this is the
Extended
first time living here.
Yeah. How's that going?
It's going fine already. I really like the apartment, really like everything about Frisco and Texas, and I just can't wait to see more.
Yeah. What about like from a cultural shock standpoint? What has been the number one thing where you're just like, what the fuck?
Food every single corner. That's probably it. There's everywhere you go, there's food.
There's more restaurants here than anywhere else in the world. Everywhere that you go, there's a restaurant, a new restaurant that you haven't tried. There's so many. I'd like to know. And maybe we'll look it up. Maybe post production can do a little lower third that says how many restaurants there are in Frisco. That is a culture shock. Even coming from Chicago, where there's it's the fattest city in the world because every food there is amazing. I was surprised at how much food there's here. Now that it's summer, there's like this place down the street where it's just like a million food trucks just like sitting there like ready to go.
We drove here from the airport. It was like. Just food courts. Just
food. So culture shock food was the best thing you've had so far since you've been here?
I think Raising Cane's was really good.
Really?
Yeah.
Not a fan. I've been there, just not a fan.
Cane sauce?
It was Shazam. He told us it was the best. And
Shazam? Tacos. Have you guys had tacos yet?
No.
Yeah.
Have you ever had tacos?
Yeah. I had some tacos, but that was not that good.
No.
To be honest.
Well, because where did you have them?
It was 54th Street or something.
Where? Here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No.
We had to go somewhere.
You got to go with a Mexican to get Mexican food. Like true, authentic Mexican food. I'm not gonna go with Shazam to go get Danish food.
Yeah.
A
hot dog.
Is that what kind of food? What's like a traditional dish?
Yeah, smørbrød.
Smørbrød?
Smørbrød, yeah.
What is it?
It's like bread with how do you?
A lot of maybe ham or roast beef and just like a lot of other stuff on it.
Like what? Beans, pasta, rice.
Remoulade.
Yeah. You know that? Ratatouille?
Almost.
Remoulade?
Yeah.
No, what is it?
It's like mayonnaise with like onions in it and so on.
Yeah, onions and cucumber.
What's your favorite food ever? Period. Just like the one thing that mine is Chipotle, and I'm not talking about the restaurant. I'm talking about an actual dish that my mom makes. It's a Chipotle pepper with like shredded beef, onion, and then you put it on a tortilla, and then you make a burrito out of it. Fuck. Ooh, man, my watering. Anyway, go on.
I think my favorite one is lasagna, actually, because I don't get it that often, and then pizza, everyone can say their favorite food is pizza and so on, but lasagna that's good. That's mad good.
That's mad good.
Mad good, kid. What do you...
I think I have weakness for sushi and Mexican food.
Sushi and Mexican food. Dude, I'm disappointed that you went to a shitty one. Don't get me wrong. I've gone to... Since I've moved here, I've never been so disappointed in my life with the amount of not good food, because I have this rating where only 50% of my scale. So from one, it's two factors go into a good taco for me. Hot sauce being one factor, and then the taco being the other. So it's really tough to find a right hot sauce down here because it's so Tex-Mex. It's like Texas Mexicans. How do you call them? Tex-Mex, man. Tex-Mex. It's good. Don't get me wrong, but it's not true Mexican. Anyway, so before we move on to you and your full name and where you're from, what is the game that got you into gaming, and then what game? Give me your career path when it came to gaming. Like, what did you start playing as a kid?
I think I started playing Battlefield 1942. It was a horrible game. I think my uncle played it, and then I started playing with him at his place a little bit, and then I started playing CounterStrike Source in 2004.
Yeah.
And then I just played Source, and then when CSGO came out in 2012, the beta key came out, then I just played it from the beginning already.
And that's the only thing you play?
Yeah.
What other games do you play?
I've tried to play a lot of games, but I always fall back to only CounterStrike,
Yeah.
Call of Duty World War II, Call of Duty Black Ops. I played that as well. Also played GTA on Xbox and everything. Like I played a lot of different games, but I always fall back on CounterStrike.
So do I. Well, I have the same story, but with Call of Duty. Like, there's been no games. Minecraft and Fortnite are the only two games that I can truly say that I played and enjoyed my time there without, taking time away from Call of Duty.
Fortnite, same for me as well. That's like the game you can play, which is really fun all the time. Like when you sit down, you just play.
What about you? What's your name? Well, how old are you?
I'm 20.
20. 2004, you were... Do the math, quick math. 2 + 2 is 4. How old were you in 2004?
How old were I?
How long ago was that?
Come on.
We are CSGO players. We're not mathematicians.
Mathematicians? When were you born? What year?
97.
1997, so you were 14 years old. Or 4 years old. So no, 7 years old.
Quick maths.
Great shooters. No, not
7 years
great,
old.
great,
6 or 7, yeah.
Great shooters, not computers. All right, we're gonna put that on a T-shirt, and we're us 3 of us that wear it. So you're 20 now.
Yeah.
Holy man, you're super young. How old are you?
23.
23. So your name, where you from?
Nicholas Gate, also from Denmark. I lived in a city called Aarhus.
Aarhus.
Yeah.
In Spanish, it means eyes.
Eyes.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think it's called the city of smiles, actually. So.
The city of smiles, and then he looks at your smile. Yeah. Anyway, so how are you enjoying your time here? Like, what team did you come from?
I played for North Academy.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
on the second team of Config and Cajun.
Cool. What's been your number one culture shock? Like, well, give me that, and then I'm gonna ask you guys how it was for you guys to just decide. You know what? Yes, I'm gonna go live. I'm young. I'm gonna go live in Texas to say that I did, and then how what? All right. Anyways, finish that. I'm gonna ask you what made the decision easier for you guys to move down here.
When Christian and I arrived, we actually arrived at the hotel, and there was a guy coming in. He had like the chewing stuff in his mouth, and he said,
"Chew."
Yeah, what is it? Just chew?
Yeah, tobacco. Chewing tobacco. It's
Chewing
called
tobacco.
chew.
Yeah. He came in and watch out, people get robbed out here. And we were like told that this is such a nice area, and
They don't get no.
I think it's just
Did he hear you guys speaking a different language?
Yeah.
That's
he
why.
did.
Yeah, no one gets robbed out here. Go to Chicago, bro. Okay, I didn't live in Chicago. I lived in the suburbs of those places. There are places in the United States where there's violence, obviously, as you guys know.
Yeah, everywhere.
Yeah. Do you guys? I'm not gonna get into this political. Do you guys have guns in?
In DK,
Yeah.
Denmark?
We have
Yeah.
BB guns. That's it.
Yeah, but as a private citizen, you couldn't.
No,
Only if you have like the hunting license, then you can have a rifle
Yeah.
or some sort.
Yeah, but no assault weapons and
no.
How's that going? Good, right? It's like peaceful.
Yeah,
it's
pretty
very
peaceful.
The country's pretty peaceful, yeah.
I guess if you have a gun in Denmark, you will get like, I don't know, 7 years in prison or something.
Jeez, man. Anyway, so let's not get into that political, twister that we went in there. What got you into video games, and how did you end up being a professional, CounterStrike player?
I think we had a PC back home when I was like 8, and I played the 1.6 for just like fun, not really that much. And then I played Source for 1 year when I was in high school, and then the Go came out, and I started playing that 2 years ago, I think.
2 years ago?
Yeah.
And then you've climbed the ranks. So coming from the academy, and this is gonna be like part of the evolution of esports, in my opinion, where you have these sort of farm systems, not necessarily for an individual team, but for farm systems that will allow the growth of players. Do you think that you would have gotten to where you are today without that sort of training, or do you think that had a major impact in your in you landing where you landed?
Definitely had an impact, but I think it's more like the way how I approached things, the training and dedication. And
yeah. Do you think somebody can be a professional just purely off of training and love for the game? Do you think that somebody can do that without the natural God-given talent to be what you were meant to be?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah?
I think if you have hard work, then you can do everything. Like if you play enough and you focus about the game every single time you open the game and you want to learn, then you can be professional like everyone else.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't. I'm from the mindset.
I mean, you still gotta have you have to get the chance, right? Gotta get through.
Yeah,
the
you still
keyhole.
gotta have some kind of luck to get the chance to get
Yeah.
on a team, because you're brand new. No one knows your name. No one have seen you play before, so you gotta like have some kind of talent in.
I think that's where esports is lacking, because think about how many people compete or play that will never get a chance to be. I mean, Oscar Cañellas being one of the first ones that he said it constantly. Like if Daps would have never picked me, I don't know where my career would have been. You know, I don't think I would have ever gotten the chance to shine the way that I I was shining here on OpTic. And I think that's like so flawed in esports that we need to do a better job of, creating these sort of academies and like opportunities for people to display themselves on a platform where people can be like, all right, as Team OpTic, we're gonna pick him for our academy, and then League of Legends already doing something like that, Overwatch League's doing like that, obviously organizations in CounterStrike, Call of Duty, they're all doing stuff like that. But I think that we fell behind a little bit in that situation because there's talent out there that will never be recognized because the opportunity isn't there, and the fact that you have to say luck is like flawed. If you have the chops, you should have the opportunity, not the luck, the opportunity to get in front of people to do something. So, going back to that, I don't think so, man. I don't think, I played Call of Duty for like religiously for 10 years, and I would never ever be as good as a nerdy Seth or as a nerdy Karma or a Crim6. I just don't think so. I don't think it's in me. Like, and I played a lot. Maybe I didn't train towards like specific thing, didn't learn spawns or anything, but I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think. There's this saying that says that hard work will defeat talent when talent isn't as committed or something like that. I mean, I made it longer than it was, but yeah, I don't think so. I'm surprised that you guys think that as professionals. You guys think that.
I think it's like something when you're in the game, like you can feel if someone is really talented or if someone is good. Like if someone like, let's say, Simple, Nico, Rain, all of Meister, all like the really, really good players, they're talented and they're good at the same time. And then you could say like some of the older guys who played the game a lot and who's like a bit under their level, they're doing hard work to reach their level. So they're like up and coming, even though they're like we are not superstars in the like Olaf Meister and Nico and all those players are. But we're working hard to reach that level. So. Yeah. Everyone can reach their best players level.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think either you're chosen by the higher force or you're not. It's either God says you're gonna be good at this or you're not. I don't think that he'll say you're gonna be a hard worker, but to be at that like the talent part, I don't know, man. I don't know. Only because I've experienced it. Like I've loved Call of Duty, like I've loved nothing else in this world, and I would have loved to have been able to represent OpTic on the stage and done that. But I just knew that I'd never had the chops for it because there were people better out there. So I don't know. I'm so surprised that you guys.
You gave up?
Yeah,
I gave up.
You gave up?
No, I did okay for myself. What I'm saying? I still took credit for the championships. So good for me. But yeah, no, it's crazy that you guys think that. What about? Have you guys talked to? I mean, obviously, Cajun. Has he told you guys anything that he's like, yo, this is weird that they do this here? Like his cultural shock.
I don't think it's been that.
Wait, did you give me a cultural shock?
Only the guy who told us like to.
Oh yeah. Which are they kill people here?
No, I've been to US a couple of times now, and I think it's not that bad. I like it here.
Yeah.
Besides, the weather has been
pure shit, right? It has. But trust me, I come from Chicago, where the weather is the worst, and I moved here for the weather. And now I don't. And let's not get into that.
We were told before it rains like maybe once a month max.
Yeah.
And we came and it rained for
3 weeks.
For 4 days.
4 days in a row.
You guys only got 4. We've been going through that for like 3. Snow, rain, like it's bad. Is this the first multicultural team that you guys have played on?
Yes.
How communication-wise, how hard is it to relearn call-outs? Or do you guys have...
we're like mixing it a little bit when we're in the server. Then us 3 Danish people, we say like, we call this that spot. And then the Stan and Chaz and Chet are like, okay, we can call it that. So we like mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, of course. So like what's one thing that you guys call it that they have to adjust to?
We have 2 spots named Noogie and Snappy.
Noogie and Snappy? What?
That's pretty difficult.
Wait, is it 2 separate ones?
Yeah,
Noogie,
so Noogie and Snappy, and they're right next to each other. So they always Noogie, Snappy, Noogie, Snappy.
Yeah. Oh, bro, that's so good. There's gonna be like an in-game listening. It's like Noogie, Snappy. What's going on? Like, what are they talking about? Is that difficult for you guys? Obviously, coming from from a team where all you speak is your native language, and then having to. I commend you guys on that because I can only imagine how difficult it is in the heat of the moment. In the heat of the moment where you need your entire concentration on one shooting and let alone like having your secondary function in your brain do a call out, like that's gotta be difficult, man.
I guess it's like more common because I think everyone that has played CS has played with players from a different country, so you always like speak English. You always like talk English with if you have friends from I don't know UK or whatever. So the only thing we have to learn is like communication with everyone. Like everyone talks at the same time and speaks, gives the right information in the team, and that's the only thing we need. Like the communication and for us in the team is really good.
It's just like an adapting phase. I think day by day it's improving.
Cool.
And I think we're learning.
Have you ever played on the main stage?
Not like a really big stage.
Like let's say at just there's so many tournaments in CounterStrike, bro. It's always like I want to go to every single one because I understand CounterStrike more than I understand even Halo or not Halo is it's easier, but like Gears, but it's easier for me to understand than Overwatch. It's easier for me to understand than League or Dota. So I want to go to all of them because I understand it. And there's just so many, man. I'd have to get a divorce. I'd have to find Liv a new dad, bro. I would.
Can't do that. There are too many.
No, there's so many. How do you guys like mentally like say, you know what? I mean, obviously you love the game. That makes it easy, and it's your job that makes it easier. But it's got to be like taxing. Like you have a dog. You know, I just learned that this morning. Do you want me to ship you your dog over here?
No, I think he can stay home.
You sure?
Unless you want to take care of him when I go traveling.
Oh yeah, you travel a lot. Mom, if my wife's watching, Jude, do not get any ideas. We have 6 dogs.
Oh, okay.
Then you can have a 7. It doesn't matter.
One more doesn't matter. No, it matters, man. And our pack, our dog pack, which is a pack. We just experienced the first ever like. Her sister-in-law who lives in Spain was here, and she bought a dog while she was here. So her puppy grew up in a pack of dogs. So when she took him away from the pack, he didn't know what it was like to just be a single dog. Really? You know what I'm saying? So he was like, she said, I mean, you can never tell the mental state of an animal, but you could tell when they're sad, and he was sad because he didn't know how to not interact with their beings. You know what I'm saying? And we have 3 Chihuahuas, 1 Pomeranian, those little yappy little, right? Not condoning animal violence. I don't hit my dogs. Anyway, and then we have a Great Dane Mastiff. His name is Henry, just a massive, massive dog. And, you know, at first we were like, how is this massive dog going to interact with, you guys didn't expect for this to be like the topic of conversation, right? We'll get to CounterStrike. Yeah. Anyway, so to fast forward, you know, the gentle giant, as we call him, is like he's super good as long as he's a part of the pack and all that. But I love dogs, man. When's the next time you're gonna see your dog? And I don't want to make you cry because you know. Yeah.
I think the next time is probably gonna be when we have a trip home. I don't know yet. Maybe 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Man, are you sure? We'll take care of your dog.
I'm pretty sure my parents, they love him too, and they.
Okay. All right, so he is with family. Good. All right. Well, the invitation's there. I know how important dogs are. Do you have any dogs?
No.
Don't say cats.
Family has.
Okay. Cats? Do you guys like cats?
I'm not into cats, bro.
Me either. Cat. I'm a dog person too.
Yeah, same.
I don't hate cats.
I don't hate cats. A little bit.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, wink, wink. No, I don't know. Just not for me. Anyway, so the communication's well. Everything's going fine. You know, going back to the travel stuff and how much you guys do that. How do you deal with that? Like, I don't think I personally couldn't do that. Like, what mentally? How do you guys say? You know what? This is what we do for a living.
I think when you're in a team that wants to really prove yourself and you have motivation for winning in tournaments, then you don't care about how much you travel. If you're in a team with like dying motivation and you really don't want to play, then it's the worst like time in your life traveling because you're like, oh, I just want to go home, kinda.
Yeah.
And in this team, I feel like everyone, they don't care about if we fly for 8 hours or 10 or 15. We just want to go play a tournament, get the best placing we can get.
Yeah.
If we win a tournament, then it's a big.
It's
plus.
worth it. Yeah. No, of course, man.
We just moved to Texas and Frisco, so I mean
that's a good commitment, man. So let's get back to that. Thank you for bringing that up. What made you guys say, you know what, let's do this? Did you guys talk about it together? Did you guys talk about it with Cajun? Like, what went into your decision to say, you know what, let's make this leap of faith and go do this?
I was kind of in the beginning of like when you guys contacted me from North, I was like, no, I kind of want to stay home. I kind of want to stay in Europe. And then I was like, fuck it all. I'm just gonna do it and then see everything, experience everything.
Yeah.
Like learn about life. Is what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Learning life.
Good.
Deep.
That's
deep stuff.
What about you?
Yeah, and I was probably in the same like state of mind that didn't really have any plans with my team, and so it was a good opportunity for me to just prove myself.
Good. Yeah, man. I think young people have that, and I would have had this difficulty as a young person as well. Young people have this this sort of block in their brain that says, this is where I'm from, this is where I want to be, and they never want to. Some do want to explore the world, but they never want to give an opportunity to live somewhere. Now, as a grown adult, knowing that I had the same mindset, I don't think that I could ever discard the opportunity of maybe living in Australia or living in Europe, for like a couple of years. I think culturally it's good when you have the ability to not only travel, and I used to hate traveling, by the way. Like for 3 years when I first started doing this, I hated traveling. I didn't like going to anywhere, not anywhere in the United States, anywhere. But the second that I started, the first time that I went to London, I'm like, man, I am missing so much of this world that I would have kicked myself in the ass as an old man if I didn't have this opportunity to explore the world as I did. So, tip for you guys: what your mentality is right now, as a young person, and you wanted to stay in your hometown, give yourself a chance and explore, because there's nothing better than to have like this sort of experience. I went to Brussels last year, and I could not believe like the architecture of the churches, and incredible, man. Do you guys have like cool architectural stuff out there, or is it just snow, like igloos and stuff?
I think we have some good stuff.
Yeah?
Yeah.
In Copenhagen, we have some good stuff,
Yeah.
I think. But like when we go to like a nice place like Australia, we went to Sydney, then we go watch the Opera House, or everything. There's like if we have one day off and we really want to chill, then we go like watch something and do stuff, because you have the chance to explore things. You're young and everyone wants to see everything.
Absolutely, man. The one thing I would recommend, okay, is don't fall in love in Texas, okay, because they're out there. They'll give you the wink, and then, you got some good looking fellas. You're gonna get out there, and they're gonna distract you. Just careful.
Keep your head in the game.
Out.
Keep your head in the game.
Keep your head in the game. No clubbing. Maybe tonight after dinner. But anyway, with the current state of CSGO, how many majors were there last year? Two. There's always been two majors.
There's been 3.
Yeah. Okay, and then right now we're in the 2 right now. How do you guys feel about that?
I think there's so many tournaments, so if they wanted to like still have 2, they could make 3 again.
Yeah.
But I think if they wanted 2 tournaments, then they should probably have like a higher prize pool for the tournament, because all the other tournaments are so close already.
Yeah. That doesn't distinguish the major as a major, right? I
mean, it is kind of a major because you get the in-game pin, people get the stickers and stuff. But like, the tournament prize is not big enough for like to feel really special.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. I think majors should be something special, and I'm from a mindset where we should have 4. At the end of every quarter we should have 1. But again, we have so many tournaments that are going on right now. Do you think that there's too many tournaments, or is that taxing to you guys?
Not really. I haven't been to that many, but they're like the small ones. But I think it's decent.
Yeah, but I think you're coming from like a fresh perspective, right? Not having like grinded as much. I mean, I'd love to ask you the same question in like 2 years when you've like really done it. After you.
I think it's better to ask Christian.
Yeah.
I think like the tournaments in like overall, there's a lot of tournaments you can play. You can like stay out and not come home in your house for like a year if you play tournaments all the time. So I think the only thing you gotta do is like figure out what tournaments you want to play. So let's say there's like one tournament in a week, and then there's one tournament right after the tournament, and then there's one tournament right after that one. Then you're probably gonna skip the middle one and then play the tournament after.
I agree.
So it's like you have to skip tournaments now because there's so many.
Yeah, and I think it's a good idea, man. Player burnout is something that the last thing you want to do, man. It's the last thing you want to do. Not only that, but it allows you to refresh and really hone down on the mistakes that you made on the previous tournament, and actually have some level of improvement instead of like. Yeah, in practice, to correct that. Otherwise, you're just getting, kicked in the face like nonstop with the same. You don't have time to adjust because you can only get so much, practice and re-strategy, during a week of travel. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I agree. I think there's too many personally, and that's coming from somebody who wants to attend.
Watch them all.
Yeah, it's difficult, man, as a spectator, I think. And then the other thing is that you may run into a place where it's like there's so much of it that there's no storylines that you really want to watch and really be passionate about. I think do you think it'll ever get to the point to where Valve would maybe step in and be like, you know what, we're gonna take this and we're gonna make it like traditional sports and have it be a league that has X amount of whatever at the end? Or do you think it'll continue to be ran by tournaments?
I actually have no idea. Like you can't expect what Valve is gonna do. To be honest, I hope they're gonna make like an international tournament, like Dota has, like one huge tournament. But you can't know. Valve, they do what they gotta do.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think personally, I think they do a good job. Having dealt with as many, tournament operators and developers, I think that Valve is up there when it comes to doing it right. They step in when they really, 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 really need to, and aside from that, they just let the community, manage itself with which means that they trust a lot. If
they trust pro players. They ask us if there's like bugs in the game and mistakes and so on. So they they listen to us, but they also like do their own thing, kinda.
Yeah, and it's good for me culturally, and I'm not talking about culture. I'm talking about esports culturally to understand like certain players and certain like organizers and that, because if you ask this question to a Gears of War player, they're going to have a different answer. They're going to say, well, the developer doesn't really do this. Activision, like, don't even get me started there. They just have so much red tape that it has hindered the growth of other esports, like the Call of Duty specifically. But yeah, no, I think Valve has done a really, really good job at allowing some sense of trust into the community. And involving the community, not only from a pro player perspective, but from a fan perspective. Which brings me to my next question. Do you think that CounterStrike, talking about the fans and stuff, do you think CounterStrike is too like hardcore and there's not like an opportunity for players to, like casual players, like let's say somebody like me, to just like really enjoy it? Or do you think that there's like what can be changed to make it a little bit, and I'm not saying that this is something that I want to do, I'm just saying, from a casual perspective, the reason I don't play Counter-Strike is because I have an addictive personality, and I know that there's a trackable way of knowing how good you are, there, not being a pro player. So for me to get into that, I would just like suck so bad that I would never allow myself to be that bad at anything. So then I would get addicted to the grind, and then I would just like OpTic would just go down the drain, and where's Hex been? But anyway, casually, like casual players, do you think you guys have the success in Counter-Strike for a casual player? Do you think that they've done a good job at least adhering to some of the casual players? How do you bring in more eyeballs to Counter-Strike if it's not through the casual players?
I have friends that play casually. There are like so many mods and whatever you can play. You have the whole matchmaking thing, and I don't think you have to go down the competitive way.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the same. I know like almost every single friend of mine that plays PC plays CSGO.
Yeah.
Everyone I know who has a computer that just plays a little bit plays CSGO. So I think matchmaking, Faceit, ESEA, everything, like they have mods, surf, whatever you name it. So you can almost play anything in Counter-Strike. Like you can play zombie, you can play Live for Dead kinda in CSGO.
Yeah.
So I think like.
What do you think of a battle royale for CSGO?
A battle royale for CSGO, I think it would be.
Map.
Is
like
it?
That,
yeah. They have them on?
They made the PUBG map in CS.
With CS guns and
yeah.
Get out of here. How do you guys feel about battle royale? And
I think PUBG and Fortnite, like battle royale games, H1C1, they're really fun. You could spend a lot of time just running around killing people and don't give a damn if you die.
How good are you at that? You got to be good. Like if you have full control of keyboard and mouse, you have to be like at least.
At Fortnite, I'm pretty good. I think it's when you get the pump shotgun, you're gonna win no matter what.
Yeah. Wait, dual pump or just one?
Just one. You only need one.
Well, if you can, I miss. Like I need the tack because I need to like spam the. Because with my, I'm not. If it was a controller, I'd be fine. But it's the fact that I gotta concentrate on what's happening here and then do that.
If you're playing like this, then maybe I get why.
I hold the mouse like this.
Okay.
No, I'm weird. No, I don't have my task here, right? Yeah. Do you play it?
I had one game I killed 6 guys, so decent.
Yeah, that's my average.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get one and we win, but but I revive a lot of people. I'm a medic.
Yeah.
I'm the medic. I revive. Yeah, that's the support. But I don't like being a support player. I want to be like the lead slayer, man. Yeah, I want to be the slayer. For those who don't know, what do you play and what do you play in Counter-Strike positions?
I play right now. I usually play entry. Now I'm like kind of lurk, second entry, third entry.
And I like more of the entry now. I think entry, rifler.
Yeah.
Just like a rifler, I think.
Slaying. You're the slayer.
He's the slayer.
The slayer.
Cool. Where are we as a team right now? Obviously, it's super fresh, brand new. You guys have been here for like 2 weeks, how has that been? Obviously the transition from where you're coming from to working with two players that you guys have never played with, a coach who have never.
I think the only thing we need to do, everyone on the team that has to settle in. Like we have to settle in our apartments. We have to settle in here.
Yeah.
We have to get used to everything around us, and then I think our practice is getting better from day one. Like it started to get really good yesterday already.
Yeah.
So
Have you guys scrimmed anyone?
yes,
And
we scrim people and we shit on them.
Yeah. Good. Oh, bro, I love hearing that. I love hearing that. Playing with NA players now wouldn't have been a thought. 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, let alone 4 years ago. This is something that would have never happened. NA was, and I said this very early on when I stepped into CounterStrike that we wanted to be a part of the evolution of the NA scene to become, contenders in the world stage. Cloud9 just won, and my question to you guys is like, what do you think happened? In NA that allowed the players to reach that sort of level of competition that would mirror and match that of the Europeans.
I remember when I started playing 2 years ago, and that was the NA meme. It was at its best right there. I think now it's just the teams have found like the best match for each other, and I think the competitive scene is like so tense right now that everyone can beat anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the same. Like Cloud9 finally found their like core 5 people, and then the coach as well.
Yeah.
I think that's what they needed. They had like a chance in 2014 when they were getting semi-finalists at majors with Shroud and so on.
Yeah.
And I think now that they kicked a few players and switched a few players and roles and in-game leading, and they finally find the match.
Yeah. With that in mind, I personally think that it has to do with the amount of playing time that they have now against that talent. You're only as good as your competition. And when your competition is at a certain level, like as it was in NA, if NA only played NA, they would have never, ever been able to catapult or elevate their skill. And that goes on, across everything. You look at Call of Duty in Europe, it's just like the Europeans just started becoming good in Call of Duty because they've had the opportunity to play against that sort of level. Australians, there's super talented Call of Duty players out there, but they've never gotten a chance to really practice and conduct themselves, accordingly within the level of competition that there is. I think that's what made CounterStrike, NA CounterStrike, become to that level. My question is, how long is it before, through standardization of the sport, are we going to be able to see somebody from a team from Argentina or a team from Bolivia or a team from Africa? Yeah, exactly. Like before, like we get there. As a professional, let me ask this to wrap that up. As a professional player and as a person that believes that they're good enough to compete, do you think that they should make the sacrifice and move to Europe to compete at that level? Let's say I am somebody in Egypt. And I know that I'm the best, my team is the best in Egypt. Do I take my team to Europe and then just put them out there so they can have and be on the same service as true European competition to get to that next level, or do you just say it'll get here eventually?
If that's your dream, I think you should try to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, the scene right now is people are getting paid. It's like a full-time job for many teams, so it's definitely an opportunity.
I think so, because Voxic, who's playing on Hellraisers right now, he moved from Turkey to wherever he's now. I think Germany or some place, or Ukraine. Can't even remember. But like he moved from his home country, Turkey, to there, like where they have the gaming house. So he pursued his dream and then just said, "Fine, I'll move. I'll do everything I can to play CS because I love the game." Yeah. So I think that's, if you really love the game and you want to win, then you do it.
What makes CS like so popular? Because even as a guy that has never played maybe 3 matches, okay, in my life, what makes CSGO so appealing for me to just want to watch, man? And I just watch. I never, like in other video games, I watch and I want to play. In CounterStrike, obviously me not wanting to get addicted, I just watch and like that. What makes it in your opinion? Yeah, what makes it in your opinion to make it enough for somebody to just watch and make it the popular essentially?
I think it's the emotions in the game. Like you can see if you're close to losing a round or you're close to winning a round. You can feel like the face cams on the players. Everyone is like either cheering or getting sad or getting mad. So like even though you're sitting at home, you still feel like you're sitting in the arena with the players, and you feel the vibes that everyone in the crowd gives you.
Yeah.
And I think that for example, let's say Overwatch or Halo or some kind of, those games are really hard to understand if you haven't played them or if you haven't like seen them before.
Yeah.
If you sit down and I explain you CS for, I don't know, 10 minutes, then you will understand CS.
Yeah. It's a simple game.
Yeah. So you think the simplicity of it makes it watchable? I agree. You know, I think Call of Duty, when you look at Hardpoint or where you look at, you know, those sort of things, it just gets, even sometimes me as a person that's played Call of Duty for 10 years, I sometimes don't know who I'm watching, and I have to like make an effort to be like, oh shit, you know, I just cheered for the wrong team and now we're losing. The simplicity of it, do you think, is what makes it that much more? I love S&D, so I think that's what makes me want to watch it like over and over and over again. Still to this day, I don't fully understand the economy, right, of it. You know, I don't know how much is worth what or how it works. But I think that the second that I do that, I'm just gonna be like fully immersed in it, like completely more than anything.
Yeah, when you know about the numbers and how much the other team can buy, if they're gonna save or not gonna save, then you're gonna feel the game a bit
strategically.
more.
What it adds to the game, I think, is also like one of the most appealing things, because you know, it's not simple like it is in Call of Duty. In Call of Duty, you just hop in and just shoot, and that's that. In this, you have to save, you have to know when to push, you have to, like, there's so much to it that just like adds that much more level of curiosity as to like what is gonna make this team really pull through and push on. Do you have any opinions or like suggestions to like what do you think would make it better right now? Like in this stage, the way that it is right now, whether it's less tournaments, more tournaments, whether it's allowing of the coaches to be a part of it, like what would you make better in CounterStrike, or what would you take out?
I think I like how it is right now.
Do you like it?
Maybe I guess Dust 2 is coming in pretty soon, I suppose, but I think with the coaches and how the tournament organizers are doing things, I think it's
the way it should be.
Yeah. I think so too, but I think they could remove 2 maps, and I wouldn't really care. They could remove Nuke, Cash, you name it, and I think it would be funnier to play, because it seems like we're playing the same cycle we've played in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, but the same thing can be said about football, basketball, baseball. They're always played on the same map, essentially. You know, it always each game is unique because, you know, the humanity that's a part of it, of the equation, and I think that's why, you know, maps and all that, you know, matter from a competitive standpoint, sure, but it doesn't matter where you put you guys. You know, you can literally put you in any map with a brand new map. You guys will know what to do. You know what I'm saying? From the economy and the rounds and the amount of the rounds, just figuring out the strategy in that specific map is what makes it, in my opinion. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree, but do you think that, you know, Fortnite obviously is doing a really good job at adding stuff for the casual player to really be involved in that, like, the question is this: do you think that cosmetically, you know, drops can be a little bit more, like, they can introduce more cosmetic drops to CounterStrike to make it more appealing to people who play that, like, constantly? Visually, just cosmetic, nothing in game, just cosmetic, colors, costumes.
I hate when they do it like too much Call of Duty style. To be honest, like when the nuke was
reintroduced,
reworked,
remade, yeah.
It was so colory, and there was so many like new stuff, and
same with Inferno.
And the FPS was shit.
Yeah.
So I think if they can't keep up the
original CS
optimization of the game, then don't do it.
Don't do it. All right. Well, good. I mean, they introduced that one revolver or the one handgun that was like, and then they.
A bit of a failure, I think.
Yeah, but they took it out though, right?
No, it's still in there.
So, but no, what I'm saying is that they didn't force anybody to use it. Like,
no, it was like you could choose between Deagle or that. But
yeah,
I think almost every pro player chooses the Deagle.
Has anyone picked that one? Just
I think Elu played with a couple of tournaments, but that I don't know.
Fucking Alu, I love that guy, dude. It was a pleasure having him on, bro. He's so funny, man. It's not a level of funny where he's like a comedian. It's just he's
just funny the way he is.
He's just funny, man. Like I had a like Chad. Chad, you think's funny?
Yeah, Chad is also a funny guy.
He's a funny guy.
Yeah. Have you? What about Shazam?
Shazam is a bit. He has like a hyena laugh.
Oh, bro, I love that. That laugh for me, man. I can listen to that all day long. Stan's funny too. When he gets, you know, out of the robot like mastermind,
he just have to stand up from the PC, and then he's not that robot anymore.
Yeah, no, which I appreciate. I've always appreciated that about him. Like, no matter what, you know, in our history, the one thing I always said about Stan is that you put him in game, and he is a tank robot, man. He's just like moving moving pieces, and if something's going on over here, like he just knows. Do you guys like how do you guys liking that sort of in-game leadership?
I really enjoy playing with Stan because he's like, he knows when something is wrong and then he knows when something is right. So he's like giving us free space, but not giving us like unleashed space, you know. So we cannot just run around. We kind of do have what we're gonna do, what he's gonna do, and what he says we're gonna do, but we're still kind of unleashed somehow. So we play our own game.
What about the again? We talked about changing coaches and stuff. Do you think the way that the coaching scene in CounterStrike right now is worth it? How much value do they? I mean, obviously having a 6 pair of eyeballs, looking over you guys, adds to it, and it adds a different element, and it changes the competition as a whole. Do you like it the way it is right now, where they can, they can pause the game and then talk or not talk during the games? Do you think it should stay that way, or do you think that there's value to be added from coaches just like stepping in? Because having a lack of coaches shouldn't be a deciding factor as to why we don't have coaches. Or that coaches.
I think they should be allowed to talk in freeze time, and that's it.
In freeze time, just that. You?
Freeze time and pauses.
Freeze time and pauses. Yeah, probably the same.
No in game.
No in game, because in game then you could say, oh, let's kick Peter and then get another player in, and then Chet is gonna call.
Yeah.
Ooh. But as a human, right? As a human, in-game leader or not, robot or not, emotions do affect your state of mind. Don't you think that a voice of reason as a spectator who is your coach that can say, "Yo, calm down. You're the problem right now. You're the one that's causing this rift. Take a breather, take a breath, gather your thoughts, get back in the game." You don't think that would add like a level of, because you can say that
he can do that in a pause, right?
Yeah, but you can do it, but you're not doing it in the heat of the moment. You know what I'm saying? You're not doing it when it's really, really like affecting the gameplay. And I'm not calling anybody. I'm not saying any human is a dog, but when a dog is peeing somewhere, unless you correct him at the time that he's doing that, he's not gonna stop doing it. So from a coaching perspective, I think that if you're able to say, "Yo, man, you're being a prick right now. You're the one that's sucking. Gather your thoughts, be good, and elevate your team the way that you should be elevating your team."
I don't think that's possible in the heat of the moment in CS.
I think if someone is like behaving like an idiot, then we have 5 players on the team, then one of us is gonna tell you shut up. Or
yeah, but when it's your peer, and it's somebody that you're directing your anger towards, that creates more anger because. If, let's say, I'm the one that's acting like a dick, but I'm only acting like a dick because you didn't do the call out right. And I say to you,
I'm fucking mad at you because...
Yeah, exactly. I'm mad at you, and then you're like, you thought you did the right thing because it from your perspective, it evolved into something else. You don't think that sort of like, you don't think that you need an intermediary right there to say, both of you, like, calm down, the whole team at this moment. It's like, you guys are all being pricks. Calm down, focus on the game, and let's get this win.
I think that's what we're really good at in pauses, on North at least, when we played. Like, if someone was getting a bit, I don't know, mad or annoyed, then we took a pause instantly, and then we said, what's the problem? And then he had to explain the problem, and then we said, okay, get on, now it's out of your mind.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, again, this is me. I don't know shit, right? You guys are the ones in the front lines.
I trust you.
Yeah. Thank you. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I just think I think that there is a level of and I could fight it both ways. Like it's working the way it is right now, and then let's not change what's working. But I do think that an added element and an added pair of eyeballs and voice can elevate it even higher. I think it's lacking in a lot of esports that ability.
Yeah.
But you like CS how it is right now?
I do like it, especially because of how close the games are. Like earlier today, the Cloud9 phase games, like, holy man! Like I was like, and then shitty internet here wouldn't allow me to watch. So it'd be getting to a crucial moment and stuff, but it's something different. I do like the way it is right now. I like the fact that there's not one team that's winning consistently. There's people that are getting consistently to the finals, but they're not winning. I like following the storyline of what's happening with SK. They made changes, but they still perform. But sometimes they don't close. FaZe, they acquired so many players and they have this like super all-star team, but still competition doesn't care how much anybody costs or how much good anyone is. On a certain day, someone is going to have a better flick and someone's going to have better aim, and that affects the entirety of the tournament. In my opinion, right now CounterStrike is in the best competitive games or competitive state that it's ever been.
Yeah, the highest level as well.
Yeah.
I think
just about what team can maintain that peak.
Yeah.
Individually.
And okay, from a professional standpoint, one, what does it take to be the best? What the best team in the world right now? What does it take to be the best team in the world? And two, how do you get there? Like mentally, from your standpoint, what do you guys need to do to truly get to that level? And this is where hard work and dedication comes in, right? Because talent, can only get you so far.
Yeah. I think what we need to become like the best team in the world right now would probably be like to get some confidence at tournaments, win a tournament, a small tournament, a big one, doesn't really matter, just to get started, get out there so people know us. And then after every single tournament, then we have to do something new and find new things, find new ways to take control somewhere, because you have to surprise your opponent at all times.
I think the game right now is based off decision making at the individual players.
Yeah.
Like, if you make a bad move, you get punished for it.
Of course, and you should.
And that costs you around. So it's just about decision making and hitting your shots right now. I think the tactical aspect is not that important right now as it was like 2 years ago, maybe.
Yeah. Oh man, that's why I like it, man. That's why I like shooters, right? Like you
shooters shoot.
Yeah, shooters shoot. My shooter's gonna shoot. That's why I like it, man. I think the strategy behind it is amazing. But at the end of the day, if it's on a 1v1, it's decision making and your ability to kill somebody when they need to be killed. Because whether they've been tagged early in the game and their health is down or not, you don't know. Or maybe somebody gave a call out and sure but
you don't know how low.
You don't know how low, and you don't know if this guy is going to be, the second you start shooting, you don't know if he's taking a step to the right, or you don't know if he turned around in time for him to feel the shot and then just start spraying and get a lucky headshot and then just take you out. So again, it takes much more than just, your ability to out-strategize somebody, because at the end of the day, again, from my point of view, God-given natural talent to shoot straighter than somebody else, goes a long, long way. I wanted to ask you this, and we don't have to talk about it if you guys don't want to, but where do you guys think we're at in terms of, as CounterStrike, where do you guys think we're at in terms of, weeding out the cheaters and hackers? Are we there yet? Is it 100% you're not, or is it 100%? Is the fear there now after everything that's happened that people are just like, I just fucking rather not?
I think I still have the fear because people cheat in matchmaking, people cheat in, I don't know, ISEA and Faceit. Like, people, they don't care about getting backbanned, or they don't care about a Faceit ban. So I think that the only thing I'm scared about, like, is playing an online qualifier and then some random dude is hacking. That's what I'm scared about.
Yeah, just having your dream torn away from you just by somebody cheating. Are you?
Yeah, I mean, a pro player could have cheated his way to the pro scene without that. There's some shady stuff out there. But
yeah. But once you're there, though, you have to,
maintain. Still have to be there.
Yeah, yeah. So let's say, going back to the exposure that a talented player needs, or the luck, in your words, that a player needs to be at that level. Do you think, let's say you're a talented individual that you're a pro, and that the only way that you're gonna get there is to cheat your way there, and then just like maintain it. Like we can't live in that world. So what sort of precautions is Valve taking to just like make it as competitive as possible to where it's impossible, right? Is the ban like good enough? Is them saying you will never compete in a major ever again good enough to install fear in every professional player out there that'll say, you know what, it's just not worth it. I'd rather suck the way I suck, because there's no way that anybody, and this is coming from somebody who just doesn't see the point in cheating because you're taking credit for something that you didn't do. It's something that you got extra help with. It wasn't your natural given talent. It wasn't your hard work. It was literally you gaming something to get to a level and then taking credit for it, which is the stupidest thing ever. You can't lie to yourself. It's like the same people that set their watches like 15 minutes faster so they can get to work on time. Like, how dumb do you have to be where you fool yourself, right? It's like, oh, I'm running 15 minutes late, even though you're the one that set that watch. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you think the fears?
Same way. I feel the same way about it. Don't take credit for anything you didn't.
Yeah.
Do.
Cool. So do you think do you think it's there now? Like, we're at that place. And from a LAN perspective, do you think that everybody that attends LAN is just wouldn't do it?
Yeah, I think so. I think the only thing that could like make it more secure is if they give us like a note and we write, we have that mouse pad, that keyboard, that mouse, that mouse bungee, that these in-ears, and then they provide us at the tournament with the gear. That's the only thing that they could do better, but otherwise, I don't think people could cheat at a tournament.
Yeah, but that's the other element of esports that I find so intriguing in comparison to traditional sports. A basketball's a basketball. You know, obviously Deflategate with football, American football. Was a thing, but it's always the same exact thing. In CounterStrike and other esports, like you have your own equipment that you bring because you're used to you've gotten used to it. It's your tool. It's yours. If somebody provides the exact same thing that you have, the bungee, the cord, everything, it's not going to be the same. It's not going to have the same erosion on the button on the buttons that you do.
Clicks and be the same feel on the mouse pad. Of course, that's why, like, you use what you use, and then you bring what you use because the thing you use is used. You know, the mouse pad is used.
It's broken in.
Yeah. The keyboard is used. The mouse is used. So. You just it will feel different when you get a new thing.
That was to me one of the not this, I say coolest, but it's like it was one of those like wow moments that I had in CounterStrike where I heard that people would bring in like cheats inside of their keyboard and inside of their mouse and then like transport it to the computer somehow. That to me was like fucking mind blowing. And I'm like, how can anyone in this world, including the developer of this game, find or prevent against something like this? Then we don't have to talk about it. I was just bringing that point that I was like in complete awe as to how creative cheaters are. You know what I'm saying? In getting that done. But I think there's no way that anybody would have the balls, right, to get on stage and that instantly get banned and then just be in front of 300,000 people and just say you will never fucking work here again. You will forever and always be known as a shamed person. Like, how do you live with yourself after being like that? It's like, oh, dude, I
think Kaylee or Kugli or what his name was already have that bit of shame on himself. The French guy who got banned.
Yeah. That was an official match, right?
Official match. Yeah. So I think.
When was this and where is he now?
I have no idea. He isn't playing anymore, I guess.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like, but I think that those sort of people need to happen in order for everybody to just not even consider it. I mean, it's a pro player, and when you're good enough, you'll never consider it because you don't need to. You're given. But I just like as I said, as a lover of Call of Duty, as a lover of the opportunity to represent OpTic on main stage, I would never ever have thought, I'm gonna cheat my way to this thing. I'm just gonna take credit for something that I didn't earn or was naturally given. So I don't know. It's just I guess cheaters cheat the way shooters shoot.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's end this on a fun questions. Traveling as much as you guys do, I have travel hacks that I do, and when I say travel hacks, what about that segue? Going from hacks to travel hacks. Do you guys have, for example, when I go to Europe, I bring a power strip and then whatever European adapter it is that I go. So I plug in my power strip from the United States into that, and now I have 6 of outlets for my thing. Do you guys have any cool things that you guys do when you travel?
Always bring my Nintendo Switch, and then I play Mario Kart with whoever wants to play on the plane. On the plane.
Can you find people on the plane and have you?
Yes.
That's how you met your wife.
No.
What do you do?
Earphones for the flight, definitely.
That's it?
Yeah.
What do you do on a flight? Like, do you play the Switch? What game? Mario Kart?
Mario Kart. I'm playing Zelda as well.
Oh, I had to put it down. My days would just go away the second I start playing. What do you do on a flight?
Movies, and I played Mario Kart on his Switch.
On his Switch when he's sleeping. Oh, okay. With your own.
We took the tray out and we
like 2 controllers.
We had 2 controllers playing.
Yeah. I think for me, having hated traveling so much, I developed this sort of system where it's a mental preparation where I know that, for example, right now I'm watching Peaky Blinders, and I know that series is so long that if I got to go to Europe, I'm gonna watch 8 episodes if I want to, and do that, throughout. But it's a process for me, like identifying. You know what? I'm not gonna go watch this movie in theater because I know that visually it's not gonna be as like let's say. Interstellar or Arrival or any of those are visually like masterpieces, where if you watch a movie that's more like drama and it doesn't matter like the visuals, I will be like, I'm gonna skip this movie here and I'm gonna watch it on a plane because Game of Thrones, for example. I got lucky enough one time, and do you guys watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I watched it.
All right, so Game of Thrones, the way I watch it is that I will wait until the very last episode of whatever season is, and then I'll start watching it that one day. The one day I'll spend 8 hours or 10 hours watching from episode 1 all the way to the end, and then leading up to that, I watch all the seasons all together so I could be fully immersed in that thing. I got lucky enough one time where I watched 7 episodes of unseen Game of Thrones for me on a flight from here to London, and it was incredible. And I recommend that everybody does that.
The best flight ever.
Yeah, the easiest flight ever. Yeah, what sucked is that we were landing as like, which one was it? Anyway, it was landing as like something like Daenerys was about to start burning people in that thing, and I was just like, fuck, I'm not fucking turning this off. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting off first. Anyway, thank you for stopping by, boys. I appreciate it. I'm sure that we'll get to know each other a little bit better. Dinner, drinks. How old are you? 20? 23. You can't drink. You can drink in over there, right? But you can't drink here.
I think so.
Yeah.
In Denmark, yeah, sure, I can drink.
Yeah. How old do you have to be in Denmark to drink? 18?
No, you can be 16.
Yeah, 16. Yeah.
16, and you're allowed to drink.
You can buy beers when you're 16. You can drink at your own place if you're. If your dad gives you a beer when you're 12, you can drink it.
Yeah, well, Mexico is the same way. I remember being like 8 years old and going to the corner store and buying 40s for my uncles, and I would come back with they're called caguamas. With like 4 beer or like 2, I was a tiny boy bringing them, but they would sell them to me. You know what I'm saying? So that sucks, man. It's all right. You gotta abide by the rules.
19th April.
19th of April, you become 21.
Yeah.
That's nice. It's right around the corner. We'll wait. We'll celebrate good. Yeah, we'll have another one. Hopefully, you guys aren't traveling for an event. Anyway, what's the next event that you guys are attending?
I think it's Pro League Finals.
Yeah.
Pro League Finals when?
It's in Dallas. I'm not sure when.
It's here.
Yeah.
It's in Dallas, but we have to qualify.
Okay, when we will qualify, and when we do, it's going to be really easy for me to make that one finally. Anyway, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Their Twitters are in the description down below. Be sure to follow them and follow their story to see how they represent the OpTic brand as we continue to go through this tournament in CounterStrike. Anyway, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you for tuning in. If you guys enjoyed it, please remember not leave without leaving a like. I'm doing my outro for my vlog. I apologize for that. Hit them with the music. Let's get on. Just play the music.